Welcome back, everyone. How are you today? Today, if it is your birthday, I want to wish you a happy birthday today. I hope you've had a good one, or if it's bright and early this morning, I hope you have a good birthday today. Today, we're going to read a story about a spider. There's lots of stories about spiders, but this one in particular, I like the images, the paintings that the author, because the author has also done the paintings of this picture, of the pictures in these books. And I'm going to read the first book about Mrs. Spider. And some of you may have seen Mrs. Spider's cartoons on TV. Well, before there was the cartoons, there was the books. And I'm going to read the very first book called Mrs. Spider's Tea Party. So David Kirk has written, it's a rhyming book, and he has also done the illustrations. So I love the illustrations that he has done in this book. Let's take a look on what he has done. See the beautiful pictures? One lonely spider sipped her tea while gazing at the sky. She watched the insects on the leaves and many flying by. If I had friends like these, she sighed, who'd stay a while with me? I'd sit them down on silken chairs and serve them cakes and tea. So she's liking to watch everybody fly by, go into the flowers, but nobody's visiting her right now. Two timid beetles, Ike and May, crept from the woodwork that same day. But when Miss Spider begged, "Please stay," they shrieked, "Oh no!" and dashed away. They got scared because she's a spider, and they think that the spider's going to get them. 3 fireflies, 1, 2, 3, flew inside that night. Their spirits high, their tails alight. They spied the web and squeaked in fear. "We'd better get away from here." The little trio did not feel they'd care to be a spider's meal. So again, they're thinking that Miss Spider is going to eat him. Four bumblebees buzzed by outside. "Please come to tea," Miss Spider cried. The 4 ignored her swaying there. She waved a tea towel in the air. She took a cup and tapped the glass. Then one bee spoke to her at last. "We would be fools to take our tea with anyone so spidery." Within the shadows of the room, just peeking from behind the broom, 5 grinning faces bobbed and peered. Miss Spider smiled. Her heart was cheered. Descending from a closer look, she danced into a gloomy nook, but sadly found those jolly mugs belonged, alas, to rubber bugs. Some ants strode in. They numbered 6. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But ants with spiders do not mix. She brewed them tea from hips of roses. A proud platoon turned up their noses. So they're like, we don't want your tea. A fine bouquet concealed its prize. There's a nice bouquet of roses. Of 7 dainty butterflies. Let's see if we can count the 7 dainty butterflies. Let's look. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you see the 7th one? Look close. It's kind of hiding. 7. There's a 7th one. Miss Spider, watching from the wall, was not aware of them all. They all blended into the bouquet of flowers. The tea table was set for 8. Let's count. 8 now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With saucers, cups, and silver plates. The cakes were fresh, the service gleamed, yet no one would arrive, it seemed. Her company in demand left her a cup for every hand. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cups of settings. There's 8 settings, but nobody's there, and it's saying that there's a cup for every one of her hands. And remember, spiders have how many legs? 8. They have 8 legs, so there's 8 servings. But she don't want to eat alone. She doesn't want to drink tea alone. She wants some friends. 9 spotted moths kept safe and warm in shelter from a thunderstorm. Ready to count them? Let's count together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 moths. What do you see is up on top? Who do you think that is? A spider, right? So she's trying to keep them out of the rain by being on top of them. And they don't know she is above them right now. They stood beneath an open sash and watched the jagged lightning flash. Miss Spider dropped down on a thread, a silver tray above her head. She hoped to please them, but instead they flew away in mortal dread. They're saying like, oh no, 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 we can't be around the spider. She's going to get us. Oh, look, she's so sad. They've left me all alone, she cried. She dabbed her eyes and sadly sighed. It's plain no bug will ever stay. Her tears splashed down upon the tray. 10 tiny steaming cups of tea were perched atop her trembling knee. She sipped and sobbed, then heard a cough, and turned to see a small wet moth, a fragile thing so soaked by rain, his wings too damp to fly again. So he's scared to see the spider, but he can't fly away because his wings are too wet. And any bugs that have wings and they're wet, they can't fly. They have to wait till they're dry. She smiled and took a checkered cloth to cloak the frail and thankful moth. They talked and snacked on tea and pie until his tiny wings were dry. They lifted him with tender care. She tossed them gently into the air. The moth told Ike, then Ike told May, who went from bug to say, there's no reason for alarm. She's never meant us any harm. So later on that afternoon, assembled in the dining room, 11 insects came to tea to share Miss Spider's courtesy. And courtesy meaning you're being nice, and if somebody comes over, you'd like to offer them something to drink, maybe something to eat. Are they doing okay? Would they like to watch TV? Things like that. You're always asking them some nice things. And so there are 11 insects. You want to count those together with me? Come on, let's count. Ready? Let's start from her. We're not going to count Miss Spider. And let's go clockwise, like a clock. You ready? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 bugs are eating with Miss Spider's tea. And you know what? There are 11 cupcakes in this picture. But let's see, let's count how many we have up here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. But you know what? There's 12 people, well, not say people, but there's 12 insects here. And if we add the total, that gives you 12. So if there is 11 here, do you see where the other cupcake is? Can you find it in this picture? That's right. Right here is the picture of the 12 cupcakes. And now she's got enough to serve everybody. So now everybody is not afraid to be around her because they know that she's not going to harm them at all. 12 tender violets in a vase presented at Miss Spider's pet place. Set by her chair so neatly spun, she munched the blossoms one by one. Her friends were glad to watch her feast upon the floral centerpiece. It was a great relief to see she ate just flowers and drank just tea. Miss Spider's reputation grew. Before too long, our hosts knew each bug who crawled and hopped or flew, and all their lovely children too. So now they're not afraid to be around her. They gave her, because the last picture, the last page, we had 11 insects, and now there's 12 violets. You want to count those? Let's count them. Let's start from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 violets for her to eat. Because she eats what? Flowers, and she drinks tea. That's all she does. So here they show at the end that the other insects let all the other insects know, and your children know, that it's okay to be around Miss Spider. She's not going to get them. She likes to eat flowers and drink tea. The end. So this book I do like. This is one of my, I know I always say it is one of my favorite books, but I do like this book. I liked teaching the kids about the moral of the story. And the moral of the story, what it's teaching you is don't judge a book by its cover, meaning don't, if you look at somebody you think, ooh, they're like weird, I'm not going to talk to them. They could be totally different than what you think they are. And 9 out of 10, they probably are different. They're probably really nice, and you don't know it. So never judge somebody by how they look. They might look mean, but you know what? They're probably the nicest person in the world. Who knows? So yeah, I liked teaching this to my students when I did used to teaching them about, don't judge a book by its cover. And in reality, don't judge a book by its cover, because some books, not talking about people, some books are really good. Don't just look at the cover and go, you pull it out of the shelf to read it, or you want to go buy it. You're like, oh, I don't really care for this one. Just by looking at the cover. No, the inside of the book, meaning how all the words inside and how you're reading it is more interesting than what the cover is going to be. So don't judge a book by its cover. It has a double meaning for that phrase. All right, so that's Mrs. Spider's Tea Party. Probably the next video I'm going to be reading about Miss Spider's wedding. About another couple of videos, I'll be reading that to you. And if you haven't done so, I would love for you to follow my YouTube channel. And also, if you could please share this YouTube channel with other people who are going to be around children at some point in time during the day. I would greatly appreciate that. And also check the links out below. Lots of information there. And I hope you all have a good evening. See you in the next video. Bye.